When the lights go down on the 50-something tour, fans aren't just hearing classic Rush songs again. They're experiencing something much deeper, a tribute to a friendship, a lifetime of music, and the memory of a man whose influence still echoes through every performance. For many people, the biggest question wasn't whether Geddy Lee and Alex Lifeson could return to the stage. It was whether they should. After the passing of Neil Peart in January 2020, many believed Rush's story had reached its final chapter. For years, Geddy and Alex felt the same way. But time has a way of changing perspective. After more than a decade away from touring, they announced the 50-something tour, not as an attempt to replace Neil, but as a celebration of over 50 years of Rush's music and a way to honor their late friend. Geddy himself emphasized that Neil was irreplaceable, making it clear that this tour would be about remembrance, not replacement. That decision transformed the entire meaning of the tour. It wasn't just a comeback. It became an emotional journey for the band and for millions of fans who had grown up with Rush's music. But one unexpected musician would soon become a key part of that story, and her arrival changed everything. Stepping into Neil Peart's place was never going to be possible. His technical brilliance, thoughtful songwriting, and decades of chemistry with Geddy Lee and Alex Lifeson made him one of the most respected drummers in rock history. Everyone involved with the 50-something tour understood that from the very beginning. That's why the tour took a different approach. Instead of searching for the next Neil Peart, Geddy and Alex chose to work with Annika Nils, a drummer already admired around the world for her creativity, precision, and unique musical voice. Long before joining the tour, Neelis had built an international reputation through her original performances, educational work, and collaborations with respected musicians. What impressed Geddy and Alex wasn't someone trying to copy Neil's famous drum parts note for note. They wanted a musician who deeply respected Rush's music while bringing her own personality to the performances. That decision reflected something Neil himself believed throughout his career. Musicians should keep growing instead of simply repeating the past. Fans quickly noticed the difference. Annika played the songs with incredible skill, but she never pretended to be Neil Peart. Instead, she honored his legacy by keeping the music alive while remaining authentic to herself. That balance became one of the tour's greatest strengths. Yet the most emotional moments weren't created by the drumming alone. They came from the silent memories shared between Geddy and Alex, moments that reminded everyone why Neil's presence could still be felt even though he was no longer on stage. As the 50-something tour continued, fans began to notice something that couldn't be captured by a set list alone. It wasn't just the music that made the concerts emotional. It was the unspoken connection between Geddy Lee and Alex Lifeson. For more than 40 years, the two shared the stage with Neil Peart. Together, they created one of rock's most respected partnerships, built on trust, friendship, and an unwavering commitment to musical excellence. That kind of bond doesn't disappear when one member is gone. Throughout the performances, there were moments when Geddy and Alex exchanged a glance or smiled at one another after a difficult song. To longtime Rush fans, those small gestures carried enormous meaning. They reflected decades of shared memories and reminded audiences that every note was connected to Neil's legacy. The emotional weight was also felt in the music itself. Rush's songs have always explored themes like time, change, perseverance, and the human experience. Today, those lyrics resonate in a new way. Songs that once celebrated adventure or personal growth now also remind fans of friendship, loss, and the importance of carrying memories forward. For many in the audience, the concerts became more than entertainment. They became a chance to celebrate Neil Peart's remarkable contributions, not with sadness alone, but with gratitude for everything he created alongside Geddy and Alex. As the tour gained momentum, one question kept surfacing among fans. What would Neil have thought of all this? While no one can answer that with certainty, there are clues in his life and philosophy that offer a meaningful perspective. In Batch 4, we'll explore why so many believe the spirit of the 50-something tour reflects the values Neil embraced throughout his career. No one can honestly say what Neil Peart would think about the 50-something tour. He passed away in January 2020, and he never had the opportunity to see this new chapter unfold. Any claim about his personal opinion would be speculation. What we do know is what Neil believed throughout his career. He constantly pushed himself to grow as a musician, Even after becoming one of rock's most celebrated drummers, he continued taking lessons, studying new techniques, and exploring different styles. He often spoke about the importance of learning, improving, and never becoming comfortable with past achievements. That mindset is reflected in the 50-something tour. Rather than trying to recreate the past exactly as it was, Geddy Lee and Lifeson chose to celebrate Rush's music in a way that acknowledges both its history and its future. They have repeatedly made it clear that Neil is irreplaceable, and the performances are presented as a tribute to the band's legacy, not an attempt to continue Rush as if nothing had changed. Anika Nilas also embodies that spirit. Instead of copying every detail of Neil's performances, she approaches the music with deep respect while remaining true to her own musical identity. That balance reflects the same dedication to craftsmanship and authenticity that Neil demonstrated throughout his career. Perhaps that's why so many fans have embraced the tour. It doesn't ask them to forget the past. Instead, it invites them to celebrate it while appreciating the musicians standing on stage today. But the most powerful part of the story isn't what happens under the spotlight. It's what happens in the audience, where thousands of fans come together to keep Neil Peart's legacy alive. In Batch 5, we'll explore how those fans have become an essential part of the emotional journey. One of the most moving parts of the 50-something tour isn't found in the lighting, the stage design, or even the music itself. It's found in the audience. Many of the fans attending these shows have followed Rush for decades. Some saw the band live in the 1970s or 1980s. Others discovered the music through parents, friends, or online videos years later. Despite their different backgrounds, they all share something in common: an appreciation for the music and the legacy that Neil Peart helped create. When familiar songs begin, entire arenas sing along. Fans cheer after complex instrumental sections, applaud the musicianship, and often become visibly emotional during performances that remind them of Rush's incredible journey. For many, these concerts are about more than nostalgia. They're a chance to celebrate music that has been part of their lives through both joyful and difficult times. That shared emotion also reflects the unique relationship Rush built with its audience. Throughout the band's career, Geddy Lee, Lifeson, and Neil Peart earned respect not only for their technical skill, but also for their commitment to authenticity. They followed their own creative path instead of chasing trends, and fans rewarded that honesty with extraordinary loyalty. The 50-something tour continues that tradition. Rather than pretending the past never changed, it openly acknowledges Neil's absence while celebrating everything he contributed. Every performance reminds fans that Rush's music endures because of the passion, friendship, and artistry that defined the band for more than 4 decades. As the final notes fade each night, one message becomes clear: Neil Peart's legacy isn't preserved only in recordings or awards. It lives on in the people who continue to listen, perform, and share his music with new generations.